Before we get into today's episode, I've got something free for you. 90% of triathletes are making the same 5 nutrition mistakes that are costing them time on race day. And I don't want that to be you. So I've put together a free audio series called The 5 Biggest Mistakes Costing You Time on Race Day, where you'll learn what they are and most importantly, how to fix them. Grab it now for free at dietitianapproved.com/mistakes and start fueling smarter for your next race today. Triathletes love the dopamine hit of buying something new. There is always another new shiny object to add to the collection and something newer again to then upgrade it with. The latest watch, the latest fuel belt, the latest wheels, shoes, helmets, aero tri-suit. All of it feels super exciting when it lands on your doorstep. And yes, of course, it looks good, but it doesn't always equal improved performance. And I love the saying, all the gear and no idea. And that is a lot of age groupers out there, to be honest. There's no point being fully kitted out if you are suffering in your races. Like if you cramp up in your run and slow right down, there is no point having super fast shoes. Because if you don't have the fourth leg dialed in for triathlon, aka your nutrition, none of that stuff really matters. You can have the fastest, most expensive bike in transition, but if you're not fueling properly and you're struggling, obviously you're not going to see the results that you've trained for in that race. And fast shoes are not going to save you if you're cramping up, bonking and hitting the wall. So today I'm breaking down 5 of the most common things that triathletes are obsessed with, that I see them pouring so much time and money and effort into, things that you think you need, versus I want to show you what you actually need and what is going to move the needle for your performance. Before we get stuck in, doors are officially open to the Triathlon Nutrition Academy program today for the final time in 2025. So if you're ready to finally fuel smarter so you can train harder, recover faster, and perform at your best, this is your last chance to jump in this year. So head to dietitianapproved.com/academy and I'll see you on the inside. Welcome to the Triathlon Nutrition Academy podcast, the secret weapon in your ears for triathletes who want to get fitter, faster, stronger, and healthier with evidence-based nutrition. So let's kick off with number 1, one of the key things that triathletes are obsessed with, and that is fancy new shoes. Carbon sole race flats, trail shoes, training shoes, whatever it is, barefoot shoes. Triathletes love them all. And technology in this space is just going gangbusters. And don't get me wrong, they can feel really fast. But if you're blowing up halfway through your run because you haven't fueled properly, or you're walking out a stitch, or you're having to wait in a Portaloo line for too long, no shoe in the world is going to save you. You'll just be walking through the finishing chute in very expensive shoes. And with the newish carbon-plated versions of shoes, if your form is rubbish and you don't run in them properly, they're not actually going to make you faster anyway. I saw so many age groupers at Sunny Coast 70.3 when I was there, clomping along in the Vaporflies like they were wearing tissue boxes strapped to their feet. Heel striking, running flat, and the shoe is not the problem, it's their running form. Now, those bad boys set you back $400 a shoe, and the carbon plate wears out in about 100 miles or 160 kilometres. So that's 4 marathons that you could do in them before they're done. And then you've got to buy a new pair. And because their mileage is not that high, you can't really train in them. You've got to have another pair of shoes for training anyway. So most triathletes don't need these shoes, but everyone has them anyway. What most triathletes need instead is a fueling strategy that's going to allow you to negative split like Kelly did at Sunny Coast, where he picked up the pace in the second half, gave it a nudge, and was confident that he could do that. Confident that he wasn't going to bonk or get a cramp or get a stitch or need to chase down the Portaloo. So while those shoes are cool, they aren't the main thing that is going to move the needle in your race performance. The second thing triathletes are obsessed with, is aero gear. Anything aero, we've got to have it. Sperm helmets, disc wheels, aero bars, aero bottles, aero socks, aero long sleeve tri-suits, shaving down. You name it, we love it. And while those marginal gains might be fun and you maybe look fast, they don't actually stack up for performance if you're not maintaining aero position on the bike. In a true time trialing position, you stay put. You do not move out of aero. But triathletes sit up, you grab water bottles from aid stations, you stop to refill bottles, maybe you stop and have a toilet break, or you stop at special needs, etc., etc., etc. We're not staying in that time trial position for the entirety of our race. Aero is also not going to help you if you're fading at the back end of the bike because you didn't fuel properly. The fastest sperm helmet in the world is not going to make up for bonking. And aero isn't going to save you if your body composition is not ideal. I see athletes drop $20,000 on a bike so that they can go faster when really they'd benefit from losing 20 kilos of body fat. I know that's harsh, but it's true. If you have absolutely no idea how to run your whole hydration system on the bike, then aero is not going to save you either. Something I love helping triathletes with is that whole logistics piece of what to do on the bike. How to carry everything, where to put it, how many bottles to run, what types of bottles you need, what goes in them, all those sorts of things go into a really successful day in the office on race day. And only once that logistics piece is organised, then you can maybe dabble in the aerospace. The third thing we're obsessed with triathletes is supplements. The more exotic, the better. Every month there is a new powder, a new pill, a new gel, or something on the market that promises superhuman performances. Ketones, mushroom blends, beetroot capsules, collagen shots, whatever it is, there is always something new being marketed to us as triathletes. And we see the pros taking it or advertising for it, being an ambassador for it, and just feel like we should be doing that too. But not really having a clue around why, how to take it or implement it for your particular situation. But all we know is that we need it because we don't want to get left behind. And hey, if it's good enough for Blumenfeld, then it's good enough for me, right? And while some of these supplements out there do have some scientific evidence to back them up in the right context, in the right space, they're not the answer for every single age grouper. I once had an age grouper come to see me and bring an entire duffel bag of supplements that he was taking on the daily basis. Literally thousands of dollars worth of powders and pills, but he had absolutely no idea how to eat to support training. He had no carbohydrate loading strategy. He had no idea what daily fueling and periodization was for his training load, and he certainly wasn't recovering effectively. And these are some of the key things that I consider are the fundamentals of triathlon nutrition. But for him, these supplements were basically a safety blanket. And he didn't want to give any of it up because he felt like he would go backwards if he stopped taking just one of these things. But in all honesty, they probably weren't doing him anything helpful anyway. They were all washing each other out. They're probably having interactions with each other that he had no idea and interacting negatively and potentially causing more harm than good. Not to mention the massive chunk in his credit card bill every month coming from these things. If you haven't got your carbs, protein, electrolyte, hydration and stuff nailed, then don't waste your time and your money on these fancy supplements that are the sprinkles on the icing on the cake. It is the sponge layer that really moves the needle for age group triathletes. Everything else is just decoration. And being able to identify something new and critically evaluate it for yourself is a mad skill that I would love to teach you so that you don't waste money on taking so much random stuff that you just don't need. Sorry to interrupt, but I'm just so excited because doors to the Triathlon Nutrition Academy are officially open. And this is your final chance to join us in 2025. Inside, I'm going to show you exactly how to fuel the fourth leg, so you can train harder, recover faster, and smash your goals on race day. But don't muck around. Doors close on the 4th of October, and we dive straight in the deep end with our first masterclass on recovery nutrition. So head to dietitianapproved.com/academy, hit that big orange button at the top, and I'll see you on the inside. The fourth thing that triathletes are obsessed with is expensive recovery tools. Massage guns, compression booths, ice baths, infrared saunas. Triathletes love a recovery gadget, but none of them are going to fix poor recovery nutrition. If you're not putting the right building blocks back in after training, you are not going to adapt from that session to the maximum of your ability. You potentially are increasing your muscle soreness, your fatigue, your sluggish levels. You can't out-massage gun a bad recovery strategy. And that is why recovery nutrition is the very first thing we cover inside the Triathlon Nutrition Academy program, because you only adapt or get fitter and faster from the sessions that you recover from. Sleep is also so important as well. And if you haven't listened to episode 203 with sleep expert Michael Grandner, then do yourself a favor and go and listen to that episode after you've listened to this one. Because the two big rocks for recovery are nutrition and sleep. And if you're missing the recovery nutrition piece, you're leaving all of those beautiful adaptation gains on the table. Now, the fifth and final thing that triathletes are obsessed with is the plethora of sports nutrition products that we have available to us. And I totally get it. Some triathletes buy every different gel, chew, powder, drink mix on the shelf, hoping that the right brand or the next latest thing is going to make all the difference. And they're constantly trying new things or blindly taking something that somebody has suggested for them without having any real idea about whether that is right for them. And I totally get it. When I go on thefeed.com and have a look around, every time I look, there is something new. It is constantly being updated and constantly changing. And I see this really big movement actually where products are getting more and more carbohydrate in them. And the other thing is the ratios are starting to evolve. You can waste so much money trying everything, buying new products that you don't actually like when you go to use them, and things that just don't work for you. And then you end up with a whole bunch of stuff in your cupboard that you're never going to use. So it's just money sitting there. But the actual product doesn't matter if you don't know what you need, how much you need, when you need it, and what your gut can actually handle. And I love teaching triathletes how to figure this out for themselves, how to test, how to refine, how to find out what actually works best for you, and how to understand what to look for when a new product comes on the market so you can review it with a critical eye, not just blindly add to cart to increase your threshold so you can get free shipping. Yep, I see you. Being able to read the label and see what is in a product is a definite skill that you need to hone when we have so much available to us. So many triathletes just blindly copy what their mates are doing or whatever product is being promoted to your squad, and you can waste so much time and money wondering why it doesn't work that well, or not having any idea whether it is working properly for you or not. And I can fast track you through that entire process and just save you all the hassle. Sports nutrition isn't about chasing the magic gel. It's actually about your entire strategy. It's not one product that's going to make or break your race. It is specific to you and your event as well. And inside the academy, our race plans change depending on what event you're doing. And I guess that's a great benefit of working with a triathlon-specific sports dietitian. So there you have it, 5 of the biggest obsessions triathletes think they need versus what is actually going to move the needle for you and your health and performance. You can spend thousands of dollars on shoes, bikes, gadgets, supplements, recovery tools, all of the things, but none of that is going to work if you don't have the fundamentals of your fueling strategy dialed in first. Nutrition really is the fourth leg of triathlon, and it is the piece that most age groupers are missing. You don't have to waste any more time and money trying to figure this out blindly for yourself. The Triathlon Nutrition Academy program is designed to teach you the strategies that you need to fuel properly for 3 sports so that you can train hard, recover faster, back up and adapt from that training session so you become a fitter, faster athlete. And ultimately, go and smash it out there on race day without any cramping, any stitching, any bonking, any gut upset, or running out of gas. One of my KPIs is that you can cross the finish line with a smile on your face, knowing that you've given it your all, you've left it all out there, you've emptied your tank, but you haven't struggled through the back end of your race, just limping to the finish line with whatever's going on. And if you're ready, doors to the Academy are officially open today for the final time in 2025. So this is your last opportunity this year to get my help and finally get your nutrition sorted. Head to dietitianapproved.com/academy, click on that big orange button and grab your spot before doors close on October 4. Let's not waste another season chasing shiny obsessions and all the gear, hoping that it'll make you faster. Come and actually learn the skills that you actually need that will actually move the needle for you.